This is Coffee Break with Val Feeney.
Hi, everybody. My name is Valentine Feeney from Gordon Atlantic Insurance, and welcome to Coffee Break. Today's guest is Helene Figman from the law offices of Helene Figman. Thanks for coming on, Helene. How are you?
Thanks, Val. Good. I've got my coffee already. Good morning.
Cheers. So, Helene, why don't you tell us about yourself and what your firm does?
Well, my law office specializes in employment law compliance and human resources support management. That's all I do. No dabbling in real estate and divorce and anything like that. My focus is to help small and mid-sized businesses and help them navigate the quagmire of regulations. I mean, there's a lot of them, federal, state, local, lots.
So what are you seeing out there right now during this pandemic?
Well, increased regulations means just total confusion for employers. The first couple weeks of shelter in place, the calls were numerous. And how do I furlough this one? What does that mean? Unemployment, who do I have to keep? Am I essential? It was nonstop, and understandably so. I mean, I get on each morning and get labor law updates through my various websites. I end each day by getting labor law updates and all kinds of websites that I enroll in. And my clients can't keep up. And so I try to help them. But yeah, they're faced with numerous obstacles. So it's rewarding to try to help them as best I can.
Yeah, it's quite the navigation these days through those issues. So what are the biggest obstacles or problems that your clients are facing right now?
Many of them, and I always say with the PPP, see your accountant, see your banker. I don't do anything financial. But with the PPP, bringing people back, how do they bring people back? The obstacles of physical distancing, certainly in dental practices. Do you make patients wait in the car? Do you have plexiglass by your front desk? How do you handle having one patient at a time? Many factories are roping off areas for physical distancing, policies adhering to CDC guidelines, and the obstacle also, it's kind of the elephant in the room, is the rest of the laws haven't gone away. I mean, you can't just do stuff to say, oh, I think this would help with COVID-19 and forget that you have to adhere to wage and hour laws. You can't discriminate. I don't want the older workers back. I don't want the pregnant person back. The other laws are still there, and I'm on their shoulders to remind them of that and help them with new policies.
Yeah, and I'm sure many of the issues with COVID contradict a lot of the current labor laws. So I can only imagine some of the scenarios that you hear from your clients. Oh boy.
Yeah, very complex, very complex. So we're revising some policies. We're doing lots of different letters, explaining things to employees. I'm a big person in terms of transparency. Let people know what you're doing. Let them know where you're at. And be honest, if you have to cut staff, you have to let people know and why, what's happening. If we can't see all our clients, if our vendors aren't open, we don't need all our staff, and explain that. People want honesty.
Yeah, communication is vital during these times. Finally, on a lighter note, what are you looking forward to the most when this all quiets down?
Well, maybe cutting back on a little of the cooking. I've been really cooking up a storm, and that's great, but loving the idea of maybe a weekend in Maine and eating seafood and something like that. That would be fabulous. And being more with family and friends. I mean, the Zoom calls are wonderful, a great way of connecting with cousins and friends that I don't get to see, but I'd love the idea of in-person celebrations. That's celebrating life's experiences, weddings and anniversaries and birthdays. That would be wonderful.
Yeah, I agree. I'm in the same boat. Well, Helene, thank you so much for joining us. Everybody, we appreciate you checking us out. This is Coffee Break with Val Feeney from Gordon Atlantic Insurance. We make insurance make sense. Thank you.
Thanks, Val.